as part of our journey in growing to a multi-million-dollar company, um, my there was a book that I read early on, and it's called The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni, and it talked about creating a culture where you constantly review the actual realistic picture of what's going on in your organization, whether it's in a position or whether it's in your performance as the owner, or whether it's in maybe your finances or your sales and marketing or whatever. And he talked about so many times company owners or groups or teams, they say, well, our company failed because of these unpreferential market conditions, or the market conditions changed and all of a sudden we couldn't prosper anymore. And he said that's very rarely the case. Patrick said it's very rarely the case that companies fail for changing market conditions and unpreferential conditions and whatever other negative effects on the economy. And he said most often it's because people are creating a culture in their organization that does not constantly interface with the cold hard facts of reality and then make the next right best decision. And creating that culture, he said, sometimes I go into organizations, because he's a business consultant, so he goes into organizations and he's like, okay, so what is the reality telling us? And because the culture of the organization has been so built the way that they don't often interface with the harsh reality, because the harsh reality is sometimes harsh, it's sometimes unpleasant, sometimes it's not what we want to see or even think about, because either it's scary or it's hard to repair, or it's impacting our organization badly, but not badly enough to where we want to deal with it. So we have some kind of a team member dramas, and we have some lack of performance in some areas. We just don't want to deal with it, because that's not the fun stuff. The fun stuff is making a good sale, it's developing a new relationship, it's getting more market share. And he said, the thing is, companies fail because they start to lose the culture of addressing the facts and making the right next decision, even though that's sometimes the ugliest and hardest truth to face. You used to do marketing a certain way, and now that way doesn't work anymore. I heard Dave Ramsey talk about on one of his recent podcasts, we used to spend lots and lots and lots of money on all of our digital marketing campaigns with Google Ads and Meta. And the reality is those have become too expensive to get clients. So now that we're getting clients, but we're getting them the way that they're too expensive. So what does it tell us? He says it told us that we have to get clients a different way. Well, we haven't been getting it a different way for a long time. That doesn't matter. It's a harsh fact of reality. We have to get them a different way, or we can close our business. One is not an option. The other is hard, but we've got to figure it out. And so Pat talks about creating that culture in your organization to where it constantly happens. And when you lose that culture inside your organization, you lose the ability to address reality consistently, which is what it takes to win over time. And when those hard market conditions or unfavorable market conditions hit, you don't have the discipline to address them as they come. And then they start coming rapid fire, bam, 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 one after the other, and you go under because you can't handle it. And you've not created the discipline of the culture of address the reality, make the right next best decision, address reality again, no matter how ugly it looks, keep addressing it, keep addressing it, keep addressing it. If you address it, you have a huge likelihood of overcoming it, because it's just the logical right best decision, next best decision. But if you fail to address it because it's ugly and because it's unpleasant and because it's hard, and it's harder than what's fun to work on, you can't outwork your stupidity. At some point, it's going to overtake you. And so that's a discipline that all of us business owners, we have to work into our companies and make sure that we never lose that discipline of creating a culture that addresses reality. This is Jim Collins, the Stockdale Paradox, addresses reality with the hope that we're going to win and the understanding that in the end we're going to prevail, but always submit to the discipline of addressing the reality of today.